Hola chamas y chamos, welcome back to a new episode of Alvaro Dev Labs. And yes, this is what 10 years of using JavaScript looks like. Today we're gonna continue our journey in Nuxt3. We have seen how to install it in a previous video, and also we took a look of the Nuxt plugins. Today is the turn of the Nuxt Modules. First question that comes to my mind, what is the difference between a Nuxt3 module and a Nuxt3 plugin? So Nuxt modules are just functions that are called sequentially when you're booting your Nuxt instance. It allows you to extend the core functionality of your Nuxt application and also integrate easily any other vendor, for example, Axios, Algolia, or any other solution that is outside of the Vue ecosystem into your application. Nuxt plugins are more used, for example, whenever you have a Vue.js plugin that you want to integrate to Nuxt, you use a Nuxt plugin. I think it was last week when the Nuxt team launches the new documentation for modules in Nuxt3, and I like something that they mentioned in the documentation, apart of allowing this zero configuration of modules so it's easy to develop, and also the retrocompatibility with Nuxt 2. So they state that Nuxt modules shouldn't be aimed for a specific version of Nuxt. So the title of this video is actually not correct 100%. Nuxt modules are not dependent on the version. You can specify that in the meta, but the idea is that they're forward and backward retrocompatible. I think is that how you say it, retrocompatible? Yeah. Before we start actually doing things, if you have doubts about Nuxt3 and you want to learn more, I have two videos in the channel. This one is with the story blog, so for now don't touch it, but this is not a getting started with Nuxt3 video, it covers the basics. And also I have a Nuxt3 plugins video that will help you understand that part of the ecosystem. I added the link for the Nuxt modules documentation in the video description, and what we are going to build today is a little module that will allow us to connect to Web3 applications using Metamask. So Metamask is basically a crypto wallet, and no, this is not a video about NFT, please stop. This video is about connecting to a Web3 Ethereum based application using Metamask. First step is going to be copy and paste exactly this script here, the one for impatient ones like me. And we're going to go to the terminal here. Let me just resize it a little bit here. Okay, and we are going to paste it, and I'm going to change the name from Nuxt my module, so Metamask. Okay, Nuxt Metamask. Let's click enter. I had issues previously by using this command because I had an outdated Nuxt or Nuxt CLI version, so make sure you have the latest one. Probably you're not gonna have the same as me because it changes constantly, but make sure that at least it's major than this one. So we have, it seems like everything went well, so let's just open it. Okay. Let's clear here and let's increase the size. Probably we will need to install everything, so I'm gonna use
One eternity later.
I paused the video because the yarn installation took too much. That's weird, but at the end you're gonna have like a message if everything went well, say like stopping my module. Okay, I'm going to arrange this a little bit better, so I'm gonna post this and put like this. That's better. Okay, and maybe increase a little bit the size of the here. Perfect, we can start. So a basic module will contain a source folder with the module itself. So this is the module definition where you are going to define like the name, the default options, and also how to add it. And then you will see that inside runtime there is a plugin. So basically we can say that Nuxt Module is a wrapper for Nuxt plugins, so to speak. Also, something very cool is that it comes with a playground already installed, so you can test your module right away in a Nuxt application here. Let's customize it a little bit to adapt to our new module. So here I'm going to use the notation, like this is a Nuxt module, and let's call it Metamask. Okay, here are all the scripts that you can use. We're gonna use them in a moment. Also in source, where we have our module, let's put it as one name. So it's gonna be like Nuxt Module Metamask, and here just Metamask. Cool. If we want to check if it's working, actually, we can go here and it's console login something. So we're gonna say hello Metamask, and since the icon is a fox, let's put a fox here in the console. So if you use yarn dev, it's going to serve your playground application and hello Metamask, perfect. So here is the Nuxt playground. I'm going to just increase the size, maybe. Okay, but it should say here, yeah, hello Metamask. So it's working. So how do we use the Metamask API? Let's go to the documentation, Metamask API, here, basic usage, maybe getting started. I'm going to increase the size here so you can see it better. Too much, something like this. Okay, so basically, whenever you have a Web3 application and you in your browser and you have Metamask installed, you can check in window.ethereum. You're gonna have an object that handles all the methods and properties regarding Metamask. In this case, this one says it's Metamask. I don't know if there are other Chrome extensions wallet that does the same, but at least I know that Metamask, whenever you have this installed, it will have a window Ethereum. So one way of checking if you have Metamask installed is just basically checking if window Ethereum is undefined or not, okay? We could use the Metamask core API directly, but in one point here, they suggest you to use actually another library that is called Ether. Ethers, yeah, this one. Okay, maybe let's check the GitHub. So this is a library that allows you to connect to Ethereum in an easy way. Let's say it's an abstraction layer on top of the Metamask API, and this is going to make our life easier. So let's install it right away. Take this one, and we're gonna Control-C here. Yarn add ethers.
One eternity later.
Now that it's installed, I rearrange a little bit the screen so we can have the code in the left side and our playground in the right side. Let's try to import ethers from the library and try to incorporate it into our application. So the first thing that you're gonna notice is if you save and you try to use it here, ethers. Let's console log it and show what is inside. So you're gonna have an object with several things. Signer, we're gonna know about it later, but there are several classes here. Utils, version. So this is the library itself. One thing that we can do is add this to our Nuxt app. So our Nuxt app provide ethers. Now if I save, okay, we're gonna have an error, a 500 error. Why? Because Ethers works with window object, and by default Nuxt is working with SSR. So to make it work, at least for now, is whenever we have the Nuxt config just below, let's put SSR false to work in the client mode. I don't know if we will need to refresh this one. Let's see if it works now. Okay, now it works. So remember, you will need to use SSR false in the meantime in your playground to make it work. So right now our Nuxt application has a property that is called Ethers where we can access it. But to access it from the playground, let's create a composable function. And that way we can check the hook system in the Nuxt modules. I'm going to create in source a new folder called Composables. And inside a new file, use ethers.ts. And we're going to create a function here called use ethers. And the autocomplete is not quite what I'm expected to have, so let's put our code. So Nuxt app is going to be equal to use Nuxt app, and we can import this one. I think we can import it from use Nuxt app from app. Okay, so we have the use Nuxt app, and then const ethers is equal to Nuxt app ethers, and we return it. Okay. Yeah, fix everything. Cool. So in our playground, let's go to playground in app, and I'm going to use here const ethers equal use ethers. Okay, so if we save, it's gonna say like it's not defined. So let's add a hooks to auto import every composable that we have. We can do that in our module here. So I'm gonna copy paste it because I don't remember by memory, but it's something like this. So Nuxt hook auto imports directories. You pass the directories and you push the ones that you need. So in this case, I want to auto import all the composables into our app, so we don't have to import them manually in our application. So let's try that. Maybe I have to refresh the server. Let's see. Okay, seems that they work, right? Let's check console log. Yeah, we have it in our playground. So now we can access all the properties and functions here. Next step is going to be like create something in the playground that we can interact with, like a button. So I'm going to be really lazy today with CSS as always. And I'm going to install Nuxt Windicss CSS. It's a plugin for Windicss CSS that works right away in Nuxt3. So we're gonna go to the playground in the Nuxt config, just right over here, build modules, and we're gonna add this one. Basically take out these two. Process is not defined. Maybe we need to restart it. Could be. Now it's working because you can see that the fonts change. Cool. Gonna go to our app here and just add some stuff like let's create a container So it's gonna be like container mx auto and some padding, like 8 padding, something like that. Now that we have everything set it up, let's actually check if we have Metamask and stuff. So we're gonna add in the plugin itself. So let's go to the plugin. Let's add here, instead of returning this, let's add cons plugin, okay, object, and we're gonna pass all the ethers stuff in it if we need them, and we are going to create a new function. So I'm going to use a function here and check how we can check if wallet exists, something like that. Okay, inside of it we're gonna check for Windicss Ethereum, and if that's so if that exists, we're gonna return true. And also let's just console log for now, like everything good. If not, we are going to put console error, no Web3, you should consider trying Metamask. Whoa, okay, thanks Copilot. Cool, let's just add it, and we need to pass again, this here. I'm gonna remove this one here. So instead of the ethers, we're gonna check this, and we're gonna pass this function so we can use it. What's complaining about this? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's a TypeScript thing in here. Oh, let's pay here. Okay, cool. So in our app, let's use check. How did I call? My memory is so bad. Check if wallet exists. So check if wallet exists, and let's console log it. Well, it would be nice if we call it as a function. That's fine. So okay, everything good is true. Let's check what happens if it's an incognito and we don't have it here, right? So we go to here, and it says no Web3, you should consider trying Metamask. So it's working, it's detecting if the Chrome extension is installed or not. That's fine. Let's now connect to our wallet. If you click the extension here, you're gonna see that Metamask asks you to log in. So I'm gonna log in. You will have something like this. This is the main interface where you will have all your different accounts. I have my personal one and a test account, and you can see that I'm not into NFTs because I'm pretty broke, but this helps me to do some stuff, some experiments in Web3. You will see that here it says not connected because we haven't requested the connection. If we want to test if we have accounts connected, we can easily do it in the code. How we do it? We go here and say, because I'm outside of the Composable, I'm going to use Windicss Ethereum here, just to do it really quick, and also here is request account. So we're gonna console log the result here and see what happens. So let's inspect. And we will see that there is an empty array. That means that we don't have any account connected. For that, we're gonna create two functions. One to check if we are already authorized, and another one to connect to the wallet. So first, let's create the one for check authorization. Okay. Also, let's change this Ethereum to provider, because that's the correct name actually. We are using a provider. So instead of the check authorization, we are going to do a try catch, okay? And we're gonna get accounts. So it's gonna be await provider value. I don't remember by memory. Wait a second. This is a request method. Okay, the same as before. Request method since it's in await, let's use the sync. Okay. And we're gonna check if we have any our accounts. So accounts length. We're going to just focus on the primary one. So we're gonna say, let's create a variable here called current account to save the address of our current account, okay? And if we have an array here, let's save the first one here, return true, okay? And if not, return false here, and also console error here. Okay, this is to check if we are authenticated or authorized, sorry. Let's check if this is working, so check authorization and unmounted. Check it, sync, and here await. Okay, so it's not connected, that's fine, but how we can see the current account? Can we see the current account? Current account, maybe I need to return here, yeah. So let's return current account and see if it prompts something. So current account, and it's a ref, so dot value. Okay, for now it's no, right? So we don't have any account connected. How we connect to one? Let's create another function here that is going to be called function. It's also going to be an async form. So async function, not init, but connect wallet. Okay, and this one is also try catch. Console error, and here we're gonna do something similar, but the request method changed. So instead of Ethereum account, I think it's require accounts, but let me just, yeah, it's this one, request accounts, okay. And we're gonna do something similar as this one, and if we have a result, let's save it on our current account. We don't need to return anything in this one. So connect value. Can I read properties of null? What is null here? Check authorization. Check authorization. Provide value. Oh, of course, we need to yeah. I removed this one, but we need to call it first. So here, await, check if wallet exists. Because if not, we are not gonna have a provider and we will not be able to do anything. So if we refresh, it shouldn't prompt any error. Okay, cool. So right now let's create like a button. I'm gonna remove this text and I'm going to create a button. Since we are using Windicss, I'm going to just quickly add some classes. Rounded, maybe a P of 4, something like that. Connect to wallet. Let's add a Foxy. Let's add Foxy. So here. Oh no. Collect to wallet. That's a huge button. I guess it's because I have the, yeah, I have this one too big, so we could put some font bold here. Nice, looks nice. Okay, now we needed to do actually something, right? So connect wallet. Connect wallet. I'm going to remove the current account here. We're just going to use this. Okay, how do we know if we're authorized? So if we click on the button, we're gonna have a prompt from Metamask saying like, which account do you want to connect to this site? So I'm gonna choose the first one, say connect. So you're gonna connect. And we don't get any callback because actually we are not checking if it exists again. We can do so by using check authorization, and here let's use a p tag. And say if check authorization is true, you are in, but if not connect, right? So if we say we're gonna see like you are in, we can, if we are in, we don't need the button anymore, so we can do a if here, check authorization, and we don't show anymore, oh well, if there is no. Okay, so you're in. What about the current account? So if I put here current account, so we get our current account by using this one here. And that's how you create a Nuxt module that allows you to connect to a Web3 application. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to connect to any network here because it's outside of the scope of the tutorial that was basically Nuxt modules. So I'm gonna keep it until here. If you want more in detail Web3 kind of video, ask me in the comments and I will consider to do one especially only for Metamask and this Ethers library. In this tutorial, we managed to create a new Nuxt module using the commands in the documentation, Nuxt3 Modules. It creates an scaffolding with the playground. When you install everything, you are able to configure your own module with the naming conventions. If you want to publish your module, please consider following the guidelines and best practices on the documentation. Here you can add the options. We did anything with the options today, maybe for another video. And we saw how to create composables for wrapping external library like Ethers here in the plugin. We imported Ethers. We defined a Nuxt plugin with some logic to connect to our wallet to get the accounts from Metamask. And we are going to provide it into your Nuxt application by using Nuxt app provide. This is all between the Nuxt plugin. The module will serve as a wrapper for that plugin and it's going to load it in your Nuxt application when booting. Also, we added this Nuxt hook here that it will take all the composables from this directory and it will allow you to use the Ethers inside of your application. Also, we saw how to use a playground by adding our module and then playing with it in a real Nuxt application. And that's pretty much for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial as much as I did. I learned a lot about Nuxt modules and how to integrate them. I think it's a really powerful tool. If you want to learn more about Nuxt, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. I will be posting more videos about Nuxt3 and the ecosystem.